What's going on, people, and welcome back to the channel. So I thought I'd do a match reaction to the game that finished today. Celtic 3, Hibs 0 in the Scottish Premiership. Celtic winning 3-0 against the second bottom team in the league. Well, bottom team, sorry, because Hearts won today at Parkhead, and extending their lead over Aberdeen to 9 points because Aberdeen dropped points today at 100% Johnson. 3-0 was the result. Doesn't tell the whole story. It looks like Celtic dominated. They really didn't. Hibs played very well. Created numerous chances. Celtic defensively today were poor. They were suspect. Greg Taylor and Liam Scales in particular were caught out with the ball over the top a few times. It was very concerning. But Kasper Schmeichel was outstanding. He made some brilliant saves, from Kukarevic, from Cadden, from Ewan. It kept Celtic in the game, helped Celtic win this game. Thought Kasper Schmeichel was outstanding. Really, he was outstanding against Kilmarnock a few weeks ago, where Celtic, I thought, were outplayed by Kilmarnock. Hibs just didn't have the quality to take advantage. Hibs, they've had a really poor season, but they played really well against Rangers at Ibrox. They should have won that game, I think, arguably, or at least gotten a draw. They could argue they should have won today, or at least gotten the draw, I think. Hibs fans would say that. As for Celtic, like I said, it wasn't great. It wasn't a great performance. Performances, I don't think, have been as good recently since that RB Leipzig game and the semi-final against Aberdeen, the 6-0 game. Obviously, the game against Ross County was good, obviously, but I don't think the game against Aberdeen was good. The Kilmarnock game away was a struggle. The game today, I think Brendan rotates too much. It really winds me up because he shouldn't do it. It really does annoy me when he keeps rotating players around. He does it too often. I think it affects the flow of the team. Yes, we need to rotate at times, but, he makes too many changes for my liking. He shouldn't do it, in my opinion. 1 week it's Valet, then it's Taylor. It is annoying. He shouldn't do it. It affects the way the team plays, I think. He did that in his first spell as well, which really annoyed me. He shouldn't have done it at certain times. Or he made too many changes. I think too many changes was the problem today against Hibs. I think Hibs knew that. There was no Carter Vickers today, so the defence is going to be weaker. Hibs knew that, so they took advantage. Kukarevic wouldn't have got in as easy as he did if Carter Vickers was in the team. I don't think Trusty and Scales is a good partnership, because, Trusty's not playing on his dominant side. Scales comes in. I just don't think they got the same connection as the two American defenders do. And then obviously you got Taylor and Scales, that side, of the defence. That caused us problems last season with cross balls to the back post and over the top, because they're both not the quickest. They both run into bail each other out at times, it is annoying. But yeah, Celtic got the win, apart from the defence, which is a negative today. The goalkeeper was outstanding, and Celtic, I thought, going forward, yes, they didn't create as many chances as they have done recently in games, but they did win the game. So you can't really complain too much. The game started, Hibs started better. Hibs arguably should have been in front in the first few minutes. Kukarevic gets through. Nobody's marking him. It's terrible defending by Celtic. Good save by Kasper Schmeichel. Nicky Cadden hit one from like 25 yards out. Again, nobody is closing him down. But it was pushed away by Schmeichel. Hibs were made to rule that miss because Celtic went straight up the other end of the pitch with their first attack and scored. Nicholas Kuhn was involved. He rolls it to Alistair Johnson. What a season these two guys are having down that side. They're either scoring or assisting. They're always involved in the goals we score. Alistair Johnson, good cross into the box, And there's Arnie Engels, who came into the team today. I thought he actually played quite well, Arnie Engels, today. One of his best games in a while. It was him and Ida going for the ball, but he got there first, the Belgian player, and he put it past Smith into the corner. 1-0 Celtic. Hibs, Kukarevic, again, got through far too easily. Again, it was a good save by Kasper Schmeichel. It really was a good save by him. Adam Eder had one which was saved. He hit it on the turn. It was saved by Smith. McGowan hit the bar. Luke McGowan came in today. Wasn't his best game, but he still created a chance. Hit the crossbar. Hibs still kept going forward. They still looked quite dangerous, but so did Celtic on when they had the ball as well. But at half-time, it was Celtic 1, Hibs 0. Before Celtic came out, they played a lot better. In the second half, got a succession of corners. Eventually, it came off. McGowan plays the ball into the box. It comes to Adamida. Adamida flicks it on. And unfortunately for Hibs, it hit their captain, Joe Newell. And it went in off him past Smith. And it was 2-0 to Celtic. Worst possible start to the second half for Hibs. But Hibs kept going forward. Miller had one deflected over the bar by Taylor. It was a good bit of defended by Taylor, to be fair. It was deflected over the bar. Kasper Schmeichel had to make a good save twice. Good save from Ellie Ewan. Ellie Ewan got in again far too easily. It's a good save. And then it came out to Nicky Cadden. Nicky Cadden and then hit it. Again, it was a good save. From a corner, Kasper Schmeichel saved it from a corner. Free-header. Scales is beaten too easily, but he had two men on him. I don't know who was marking the guy who headed it, because it wasn't supposed to be Scales' man. It was poor defended by Celtic. They need to buck up their ideas. Again, if that was Dino Zagreb, who they're playing in the Champions League on Tuesday night, Celtic would have been behind in this game, 100%. Celtic did get their third goal. Kyogo came on. Kyogo, it's a great goal. It's a great goal, Tavares, lost the ball. James Forrest completely robbed him. It was poor from Hibs. Tavares loses the ball. Forrest takes advantage. Forrest rolls into Kyogo. Kyogo lets it run over his foot. Dummies it. What a finish from Kyogo. Then chips it with his other foot over Smith. That was the game there and then. 3-0 to Celtic. Wasn't a 3-0 game in my opinion. You have to be honest. I'll be honest when I don't think Celtic have played well. But they did win the game. They had that little bit more quality than Hibs did when they had their chances. Celtic still unbeaten in the league. Stretched the lead now to 9 points over Aberdeen, who dropped points today. Obviously, they're ahead of Rangers by 14, I think it is. Obviously, that could be cut to 11 tomorrow if Rangers win. And obviously, Rangers could cut the gap on Aberdeen if they win tomorrow. If you're an Aberdeen fan, obviously and a Celtic fan, you don't want that to happen. You don't want Rangers winning any more games, obviously, the rest of the season. But they should beat Ross County, I think, tomorrow. Ross County are a very poor side. But they're saying that Hibs are a poor side, and they played really well against Rangers, and they lost that game, and they didn't deserve to. And arguably, they should have got something from this game, so you can never be 100% certain. Obviously, Rangers went there last season and lost to Ross County. The first time Ross County had beaten Rangers in their history. So they beat them 3-2. So you never know. But yeah, Celtic need to get their ideas back in order. I don't think the performances have been as good recently since that game against Leipzig and the 6-0 against Aberdeen. Yes, the game against Ross County was good, but you had the Kilmarnock game where Celtic struggled. You had the game against Ross County. That was a hard game. Celtic didn't play well. The Aberdeen game away in the league, Celtic, that was tough. Obviously the Ross County game was good. At home, where Celtic beat them 5-0 and they scored 5 in the first half. That was a great performance, but Carter Vickers not being there is a massive problem for Celtic defensively every single time. It really is frustrating because he's a top player. We shouldn't be relying on one guy for a whole defence. I thought Alistair Johnson was good today, actually. But I didn't think Trusty, Taylor or Scales were good. I thought they all looked a bit suspect, particularly with balls over the top. None of them. I think Trusty's got a little bit of pace, but Scales and Taylor lack pace, and that's very concerning because Dinamo Zagreb, they've got better players than Hibs do, and they'll take advantage. They're not a good side. They're an okay side. They're in the Champions League for a reason. Yes, Bayern Munich beat them 8-2 earlier in the competition, but that doesn't mean anything. Celtic lost 7-1 to Borussia Dortmund, so we can't really say much. But yeah, Celtic need to buck up their ideas. Carter Vickers should at least get back in the team on Tuesday. Brendan needs to stop messing around with these changes. I think he's made too many changes recently, and it's affected the whole flow of the team. Yes, he needs to rotate, but he does it. He makes too many changes, in my opinion, and that's the problem. Make changes, but make changes within reason. Like McGowan coming in, for example, I think it's a good idea now and then. He He knows he's a squad player, you know, for like a Tarte or Engels or Bernardo. You know he's going to play, you know. But then when you're making like other changes, like Taylor drops out and then Vai comes in and vice versa. You know, Scales comes in, Carbickers or Trusty drop out. And then you've got like, you know, Kyogo, Adamidi, you know, the whole, those changes really screw up everything. I'd make at least 2 changes a game, I'd say at least. Maybe 3, but not 4, 5 or 6 or whatever it is. And against Falkirk, he made 8 and it really affected our performance that game. Yes, we won. We got our quality shone through in the end, but it wasn't a great performance. You know, but so yeah, I don't think he should make that many changes. I think he makes too many, but that's just my take on it. Hopefully we can go there and get a result. You know, it's going to be hard, you know, going to Croatia, intimidating atmosphere. You know, obviously they're going to want to get the win, you know. They're down the bottom of the table in the Champions League. You know, we're flying high in the Champions League, I'd say. You know, we've had a good European campaign so far. You know, obviously drew with Bruges, beat Leipzig. You know, very good performance against Atlanta in Bogenal. You know, that was a great result as well for Celtic. Dortmund's really been the only game where Celtic have let themselves down. We won't talk about that. But yeah, Celtic need to back up their ideas, you know, if they're going to get a result on Tuesday night. But they are going to win the league, you know, I think. You know, Celtic are now, you know, 9 points clear of Aberdeen. Aberdeen have had a great season, but they have dropped off recently. And yeah, that's my reaction to the Celtic-Hibs game. You know, I don't think Hibs should be disheartened, really. Yes, they'll be disappointed they lost the game, you know, but they did create chances. They've created more chances than anybody else has done against Celtic at home. You know, Celtic are still unbeaten in the league. They're still unbeaten at home as well. It's good for us. Even when we're not playing well, we're still winning. You know, showing a different side to our game. We've got a goalkeeper who's just, at his age, 38, he's been a great signing, Kasper Schmeichel. He's been one of the best signings we've made in recent years. But yeah, that's my reaction to the game. Take care. I'll see you guys on Tuesday after the game against Dinamo Zagreb in the Champions League in Croatia. Peace.